Crypto prices are looking beautiful today, and volatility is setting in. Now, I know a lot of people out there, they wonder whether or not the price is going to continue rising. They wonder whether or not we're going to be able to see these prices continue going higher. But Shiba Inu coin is looking very good, with analysts targeting 3,200 points per coin. Burns are soaring, and unfortunately, this new presidential election for the Shiba Inu coin ecosystem is in full swing. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about that in the video today, so if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. Now, as you can see, Shiba Inu coin price targets 3,200 points per coin. Excellent. Right now, Bitcoin sitting at $116,436, but more impressively, Ethereum broke back up above $4,000 per coin this morning. This is a clear indicator that altcoins are rising and rising with power. Now, it did get rejected at 4,000 points per coin. It's come back down to 3,950 at the moment. And we would expect a little bit of turbulence at the $4,000 level. This is major, right? If you go back, let's see if I can pull up a weekly chart real quick here for Ethereum. If you go back, this $4,000 level is essentially all-time high levels of resistance. Tapping it in 2021, tapping it again in 2021, briefly breaking up at the end of 2021 and coming back down, tapping, 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 tapping. Here's what I expect to happen, guys. And I'm not one of these people who believe the pattern has to repeat itself and so on. But we're ending 2025 potentially with the largest bull market rally that we have ever seen. If you go back and look at all the cycles, we don't go back to 2017 here on KSX, but if you go back to all the cycles, you'll be able to see the same pattern as Bitcoin, right? Ripping up in 2017, ripping up in 2021, ripping up in 2025. And I believe that we could be touching an all-time high here at the end, November, December, same time frame as this right here, right? November, December of 2025. Ethereum could be ripping to new all-time highs, driving altcoins higher, driving meme coins higher, and creating generational wealth for those that, yes, are willing to take a risk, guys. It's a very speculative world out there. Everything comes with risks and rewards, and right now, Ethereum is providing a lot of rewards for those that are willing to take the risk. So let's look at Shiba Inu coin with that. It says Shiba Inu coin price targets 3,200 as burn Soar and the DAO vote begins. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time going into all of the details, but let's roughly brush over this. Shiba Inu coin's price builds momentum for a rally. Now, Javon Marks, this guy's very popular out on X, says that Shiba Inu coin is looking at 156% gain to reach 3,200 point per coin levels, and I agree, right? Major resistance is at that 3,200 point per coin mark. Beyond that, 3,500 points per coin, if confirmed broken, could lead to an all-time high. So that is very, very strong resistance that we need to get through. And, of course, when SHIB runs, it runs fast. So don't wait until after 3,500 points per coin to load up, because you wake up the next morning and SHIB's sitting back up at 5,000 points per coin, right? Now, beyond the technical analysis, you've got Shiba Inu coin whales accumulating and burns happening. Over the last 24 hours, 9.6 million SHIB destroyed, increasing the burn rate by 3,464%. And whales are accumulating. Now, this is coinciding with a 3-stage decentralized autonomous organization election process. Now, I am against this election simply because I know what's going on here. Right, the ecosystem team is looking for essentially a public-facing figure to be the scapegoat for all of their decisions. The ecosystem team is still going to be able to veto. The ecosystem team is still going to be making all of the decisions. The ecosystem team is still going to be running the ecosystem. It is simply an elected figure that is going to be taking all of the blame for these decisions. Guys, it's beyond incredible to me that these people believe the entire community is going to fall for this. Here's the worst part. Some of the community is falling for this. They believe that this is a step forward in decentralization. They don't look at the entire picture. Now, with that, the governance process and market outlook. The DAO election will reduce candidates to 3 finalists before a final community vote. The core team, this is the craziest part. The core team, okay, this is the ecosystem team. Now, remember, they have nothing to do with Shiba Inu coin. They did not build Shiba Inu coin. They do not market Shiba Inu coin, but they have built Bone and Leash and Treat and Shiboshis and all of this other stuff around Shiba Inu coin. And this team retains veto power to maintain project direction. They will continue to determine and decide exactly what happens with the ecosystem. It is simply the elected, to put that in quotes because remember, they own the majority of the bone out there. The elected official is going to be taking the public blame for everything. Structure aims to balance decentralization with strategic oversight. Sounds kind of like the shadow world of the government here in the United States, man. I don't know. The election launch coincides with heightened whale interest and sharp increase in token burns. Now, I believe the heightened whale interest is because whales are intelligent, right? They understand what's going on, and they understand that we are on the verge of a major breakout. Fear and greed is ticking back up to potentially a greedy situation. We're sitting at 59 neutrality right now. Altcoin season ticking back up from 35 to 39 today. And one of the most beautiful things, right? Ethereum rising back up again, 39.74 right now. Ready to test and ready to break that $4,000 threshold, that major resistance that could ignite an altcoin season like we have never seen before. So because of that, I continue buying. Now, I have not bought any Shiba Inu coin in a while, but I have added Ethereum, SUI, Solana, a couple Solana meme coins, not a lot of money into them, just to give myself a chance at some crazy gains. What else have I added? I've got some Ton coin, some Tron coin, a lot of the major layer 1 networks out there I've been adding to my portfolio in anticipation of this altcoin season kicking off. And one of the places that I've been buying is the KSX exchange. You guys got a link for it in the description below. By far the best exchange I've seen in the United States. You guys could trade on up to 125x leverage if you want, with some of the cheapest fees in the entire industry. Now, I also hold on decentralized wallets like Trust Wallet and Best Wallet. So if you guys need links for that, you got it down in the description. But one of the tokens that I've been adding is token 6900, and I've bought this one on 3 separate occasions so far. This is a tiny little, essentially lottery ticket play, right? It's not my entire portfolio that's invested into this, but I understand what happens with meme coins during bull market rallies and during bull market peaks. Meme coins soar beyond people's imaginations, and they really make phenomenal gains. Yes, it is a risk, one that I am willing to take. If you are, in control of your emotions enough that you're willing to take that risk as well, you've got a link for it down in the description below. 14 hours and 15 minutes from now, the price is going to rise when it reaches 0.7125 cents. Or, of course, if $5 million is raised, that's the hard cap, this token is going to launch. And if it does, guys, if it does at a time when prices are peaking out and sentiment is high and FOMO is kicking in, dude, we're going to make so much money. It's crazy. Let me know what you guys are doing with everything down in the comments below. And until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.